In this session, we are going to see about brand elements. What are those brand elements? Brand elements are basically the trademarkable components, which helps the consumer in identifying and differentiating the brand from other brands. Because nowadays in the present market there are a lot of brands, so the consumer needs something to identify and differentiate the brand, and these components are called brand elements. Many top brands, they employ a lot of strategies to devise brand elements in such a way that the customer retention objective is satisfied more effectively. For example, take the case of Nike. It has a trademark swoosh logo. As far as the logo is concerned, something called "Just Do It" as its tagline, which is an empowering tagline, and the Nike name is for the goddess of victory, which creates a sort of good identifying and differentiable component in the minds of the consumer. So, having told about brand elements, how to choose brand elements? How to choose? Because we have already seen brand elements are very important in making the brand getting retained in the consumer minds. So, how to choose brand elements? It is having six different criteria. Six criteria for choosing brand elements. These six criteria put together gives the company a strategy to choose the brand elements to make the brand stand in the consumer mind for a longer period of time. Those six criteria, the first three are called brand building. The first three criteria are called brand building criteria, and the next three criteria are called as defensive criteria. Now let us see about these six choices of criteria in detail. The first criteria is memorable. The brand has to be memorable. The next criteria is meaningfulness. Third is likability. The fourth criteria is transferability. Then adaptability, and finally the sixth one is protectability. So, as we already saw, the first three are called as brand building criteria. And the next three are called as defensive criteria. And deals with how to preserve brand equity. Brand equity. Now, let us now see about all these six criteria in detail. The first criteria which we saw is memorability. What is this? Memorable. It means how easily brand is recalled by the consumer. Brand recall happens. And because when you advertise or when you bring out any brand, the consumer has to recall it more frequently to remember it. If the brand is in such a way that the consumer does not recall the brand itself, then there is no use in bringing out the brand, and it will not help in the profitability of the company. So, how easily the brand gets recalled is a very important thing. It is very true in both purchase and consumption. Purchase and consumption. It is for that something like short brand names. Short brand names, maybe like Lux or LG, Taj, Three Roses, etc., can be easily memorable. It can be easily remembered. It is not there is not much emphasis on bigger brand names and all this. Short brand names are easy to remember and it will be recalled more frequently. And in addition to the short names, it should be very important for companies to do brand propaganda. Brand propaganda should be done in order to make the brand a memorable one in the minds of the consumer. The second criteria for this is meaningfulness. The brand should have some meaning to the value it is going to provide. Is the brand element credible? It is credible. Is it credible enough to make it as a successful brand? And it should suggest the category of the product. The category of the product, because if the brand name doesn't relate to what the product is being used, then it is very difficult to sustain in the competitive market. So, does it suggest about product ingredient? Product ingredient. These are all the things which makes the brand meaningful. And it can be something like a name called Fair and Lovely, which gives the meaning that it is a fairness cream. It is a fairness cream. And close up. Close up, it means looking close. So it means toothpaste and toothbrushes. Close up. And mother's recipe. Mother's recipe, when you say it, means something related to food items. So these are all the meaningfulness which makes a brand more successful among the consumers. And the third category or third criteria is called likability. Likability. What is this likability? It should have an aesthetic mind. In fact, an aesthetic mindset of consumers should be satisfied. Should be satisfied by having this brand. And moreover, when you talk about any brand, it should be visually likable. Visually likable. It should be like it should not like be an irritation to the eyes when you do it. Not only visually, it should be verbally likable. Again, verbally it should be likable, and in other ways. Something like a brand name like Duke or Pulsar, etc., makes customers believe about the durability of the product. Believe the durability, and it gives a sense of satisfaction in buying the product. That is likability. The fourth criteria is overall, and the first criteria in the brand defensive techniques, that is transferability. It is called as transferability. What is this transferability? Can the brand name help in introducing new products in the same category? New products in same category? That's the first question which you must ask yourself. Because you cannot have two different brands for two different products, which will be difficult to remember. Does it add value across boundaries geographically? In fact, in all countries it should give a same type of meaning when you do it, or you can extend it to some other countries. That's what you should see. And Amazon.com, when you talk about Amazon.com, it is transferable brand, which have same meaning in all the countries where it is in the market. And Amazon, why it is transferable is it is one of the world's biggest river. So it means, which gives a meaning like it has a wide and large variety of goods. So it gives the same meaning across boundaries, not only in a single market. And one more example of transferability is Google. The term Google means large number of digits, which gives the same meaning, large number of data, as far as google.com is concerned. So this is transferability. And then the fifth criteria is adaptability. What is this adaptability all about? It should be the brand as a component should be adaptable and updatable. It should be adaptable and updatable. And it should be like, for take the example of Lifebuoy. It was launched in 1895, but with a brick red color, and it underwent several changes. Changes in Lifebuoy is something which we can see in this particular category. And after that, with colors, odor, everything changed. And it had a shift from a male health care soap to it changed its positioning, in fact, from a male health care soap to the healthcare soap of the entire family. It's not a male only soap anymore. So the product formulation, packing, other brand have changed, but core preposition or the core value is maintained. So that still consumers remember Lifebuoy as a red soap, and with good health benefits. So this is what is called as adaptability and updatability. See, the Lifebuoy soap, even if it is updated, the same core value of health benefit is possible just because the company has been adaptable to different changing environments, and it is maintaining its core preposition. So adaptability plays a very important role in making the brand successful. The next and the last one, the criteria is protectability. As one of the criteria is protectability. What is this protectability? Oh Lord, is it going to protect something? No. It is legally protectable. Legally protectable, which means your brand should be synonymous with products or categories, and it should be trademarked or patented or with copyright. So you have to protect your brand, because if your brand is open, then competitors might take a hold of it. So it is very important that you protect your brand. The protectability should be the core factor for any particular company. Companies like Xerox, Apple, etc. put much emphasis into brand protection, and so they are successful in the market. So, having seen all this, it's very important for the company to have a mix of all these 6 criteria while creating a brand and making it appear in the market. And to make the brands retain in the minds of the consumers, the companies need to adapt and relate all its characteristics with the brand names and the other brand characteristics, so that the company does not lose out on the meaningfulness or the efficiency of the brand, which is being symbolized by the brand name and other particular factors of a brand. With this, I think you would be having a little bit of information about brand elements. In our next session, we'll meet you with yet another topic. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.